Throughout school and much of adulthood, people are repeatedly faced with a challenge which many consider their worst fear: public speaking. Whether it is their first or fifth speech, many individuals struggle with anxiety, giving public speaking a negative connotation.
Don't worry about that, Sal. You should worry about the speech.
Although similar, anxiety and fear are not to be confused, as quote, anxiety is a generalized response to an unknown threat or internal conflict, whereas fear is focused on known external danger, end quote. Individuals dread giving speeches because of the physical and mental discomfort surrounding this anxiety. Although there is no singular cause of public speaking anxiety, the various circumstantial causes can be categorized as either physiological or psychological. The physiological factors vary due to differences in people's anatomies, while psychological factors vary because people have different past experiences and mindsets. These causes do not all apply to everyone. A combination of both aspects produce public speaking anxiety, yet the psychological aspect is predominant. Though the physiological causes may be less dominant, they are essential to inducing anxiety. In general, quote, anxiety is viewed as the result of an underlying biological drive to preserve and maintain our well-being, end quote. The human body produces anxiety to warn of potential dangers. In public speech situations, many individuals perceive threats from their circumstances, causing the nervous system to be stimulated. This displays how both aspects are dependent on each other, showing their interaction to induce anxiety. Additionally, high levels of stress hormones lead to anxiety, showing the impact of the physiological aspect. While everyone can have increased levels of stress hormones, his or her specific levels and processing of them vary. However, everyone is impacted by stress hormones at some degree. While stress has differing levels of influence on speakers, it is a major contributor to public speaking anxiety.
Next, I'd like to introduce the Dunder Mifflin Salesman of the Year, Dwight Schrute.
Dwight, they called your name.
Dwight, how we doing?
No. Okay, you know what? You know what? Okay. No problem. You were lucky you have me.
Another physiological cause of public speaking anxiety is a biological tendency. A common example of this is an anxiety disorder, yet there are also less extreme, undiagnosed types. This tendency toward anxiety can stem from either genetics or past experiences, encouraging other causes such as stress hormones or the body's processing of them.
While not fully understood, anxiety is partially triggered by the amygdala and hypothalamus, controlling the circulation of cortisol and adrenaline in your body. Genetically, 40% of those with generalized anxiety disorder also have a relative with it, meaning these hormone levels are likely linked to your genes.
Tendencies for anxiety display the contribution of physiological causes to public speaking anxiety. Altogether, the physiological factors portray their impact on anxiety and reliance on the psychological aspect. One of the most common and prominent psychological factors is the fear of judgment. The pressure of public speaking causes individuals to become highly sensitive to their audience. Most people know, by experience, that being different means they are vulnerable to judgment. Because of this, a fear of judgment generally contributes to anxiety, portraying a psychological cause for public speaking anxiety. Also, apprehension and obligations contribute to public speaking anxiety. Speakers often anticipate negative outcomes, causing feelings of dread and anxiety. Individuals may also feel obligated to fill certain criteria, such as grades, parental expectations, or reputation. Together, the anticipation of public speaking, as well as the pressure of obligations, have a large impact on public speaking anxiety. In addition, new environments and situations surrounding public speech can lead to this anxiety. When faced with unfamiliar circumstances, individuals are forced to adapt, prompting anxiety. Generally, individuals try to stay in their comfort zone. However, when new circumstances are introduced, that comfort may develop into stress or worry because of the self-imposed obligation to succeed. This is apparent when comparing new speakers and experienced speakers, as new speakers generally have more anxiety than the experienced. Through practice, individuals progressively stop perceiving the need for adaptation as an obstacle. Furthermore, the effects of unfamiliar circumstances on one's perception reveals the dominance of the psychological aspect. Finally, A lack of confidence directly contributes to this anxiety and produces other causes of it. Depending on their level of confidence, individuals will vary in the way they handle each psychological factor. For example, when faced with an audience, an individual with low confidence is more likely to fear judgment than one with high confidence. A lack of confidence shifts one's focus to apprehension and decreases his or her ability to function smoothly. A lack of confidence is the most prevalent psychological cause, having a large impact on public speaking anxiety. To sum it up, public speaking anxiety is a combined result of physiological and psychological factors. Both aspects are dependent on one another in producing anxiety and do not exist without the other. However, the psychological aspect is predominant.